Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Controversial ex-Raiders WR gets cut by latest team. After a 5-season absence from the NFL, former Raiders wide receiver Martavis Bryant finally got a chance at a comeback with the Dallas Cowboys last season. However, he didn't end up playing in a single game. The Cowboys brought him back this offseason but have decided to go in a different direction. According to a May 8 X post from NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, Bryant has been cut. Pelissero pointed out that there could be other teams interested in the wide receiver, but it remains to be seen which teams would sign him. Bryant is 32 now, but appears to have moved past his off-the-field issues. He has been suspended by the NFL on 3 separate occasions, but hasn't gotten in trouble in recent years. Previously, Bryant was known for his deep threat ability due to his 4.4 240-yard dash speed. It remains to be seen how much of that speed he still has left at 32. Teams always need wide receivers, so there's a chance he'll get another opportunity elsewhere. He hasn't played in an NFL game since 2018 when he was 27, so it's hard to know what he might look like on the football field now. It doesn't hurt to add him to a roster to see what he can do in training camp, but there's so much wide receiver talent in the league right now, so he might not have the easiest time finding a landing spot. The Raiders won't likely be a landing spot for Bryant as their wide receiver room is getting crowded. The team recently made a notable addition by signing former Cowboys wide receiver Michael Gallup. He's been a productive wide receiver in his career and peaked in 2019 with a 1,107-yard season. Though he hasn't maintained that type of production throughout his career, former Cowboys star wide receiver Dez Bryant thinks Gallup is a good signing by the Raiders. "That's a great pickup," Bryant told Vegas Sports Today in a May 5 interview. "I think Davante Adams, I think he's going to like him." Bryant had left the Cowboys before Gallup played for the team, but he's followed the wide receiver's career closely. The Raiders don't need Gallup to be a star, but if he can be a dependable number 3 wide receiver, he'll make an impact on the offense. The Raiders moved on from their number 3 wide receiver from last season this offseason when they cut Hunter Renfrow. He was great for the team in John Gruden's offense, but never seemed to be a fit with Josh McDaniels. Renfrow went from being a Pro Bowler in 2021 to not being able to sign with a team now. He remains a free agent despite getting released months ago. It's hard to imagine a team won't sign Renfrow at some point. His 2021 season was likely a fluke due to the fact the Raiders didn't have much wide receiver talent, but there's no denying he's a great route runner. Renfrow could be waiting until training camp when teams will have a better idea of if they need wide receiver help. He'll be on a roster at some point this season. Cowboys hosting 3,000-yard WR on free agent visit, report says. The Dallas Cowboys are hosting former Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Zay Jones on a free agent visit, according to a report from Bleacher Report's Jordan Schultz. Jones, 29, was released by the Jaguars after Jacksonville selected former LSU wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft. Originally selected by the Buffalo Bills in the second round of the 2017 NFL Draft, Jones has pulled down 287 receptions for 3,028 yards and 18 touchdowns through the first 7 seasons of his career. Jones has drawn interest from several teams in recent weeks, visiting the Arizona Cardinals and Tennessee Titans. Tennessee signed former Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Tyler Boyd on May 7. Spending the past 2 seasons in Jacksonville, Jones was one of quarterback Trevor Lawrence's favorite targets. According to Pro Football Focus, Lawrence posted a 66.7 passer rating when targeting Jones, who only dropped 1 pass all season. During his time in Jacksonville, Jones posted 116 catches for 1,144 yards and 7 touchdowns. The Cowboys' receiver room is in a bit of a transition phase behind CeeDee Lamb this offseason. Dallas released Michael Gallup to create upwards of $9.5 million in cap space, and did not choose a wide receiver during this year's draft until plucking Southeast Missouri State's Ryan Flournoy in the 6th round. Meanwhile, Lamb has skipped the Cowboys' voluntary offseason program as contract negotiations have stalled, with the star receiver set to play out the 2024 season on his rookie deal's 5th-year option should the two sides fail to reach an agreement on a long-term extension. If the Cowboys sign Jones, he'd likely push Jalen Tolbert for playing time as the number 3 receiver behind Lamb and Brandon Cooks. Last season, Tolbert caught 22 passes for 268 yards and 2 touchdowns in his second NFL season. The Cowboys are hoping to have mined a diamond in the rough with the selection of Flournoy on the final day of the 2024 NFL Draft. Last season, Flournoy caught 57 passes for 839 yards and 6 touchdowns for the Red Hawks, finishing the 2023 campaign with 914 all-purpose yards. Flournoy offers solid production, Pro Football Focus Trevor Sakima writes. Averaging 2.67 yards per route run over the past 2 seasons. His best attribute is his hands, as he dropped just 3.2% of the catchable passes thrown his way since 2022. In addition to whatever his role winds up being as a rookie offensively, Flournoy can also contribute on special teams, where he logged 26 return yards last season. NFL Media's Lance Zierlein suggests Flournoy is a bit of a project, as most Day 3 draft picks tend to be. Flournoy offers size and football character, Zierlein writes. That is pro caliber but has areas where he must improve. Against off-man, Flournoy utilizes his size and ball skills to stack catches. Against press, however, he can be tardy off the release and becomes reliant on physicality over route acumen to create throwing windows for his quarterback. The route running is undisciplined but can be sharpened with work. Flournoy will likely be in the mix fighting for a 6th receiver job but could vault up the Cowboys' depth chart with a strong showing this spring and during training camp later this summer. Cowboys executive sends a clear message about Dak Prescott. The Dallas Cowboys made a rather questionable decision regarding their next quarterback. Just when everybody thought they were ready to give Dak Prescott a big contract extension, it now seems like they're willing to allow him to play out his deal. Some think Jerry Jones' decision not to give him more weapons this season was a way to force him to prove his worth in a contract year, adding that he would let him walk away and hit the reset button if things don't work out. Nonetheless, that's not how VP of Player Personnel Will McClay feels. Talking on SiriusXM NFL Radio, the executive claimed that the team wants to make sure Prescott is a Cowboy for life. He stated that there are still ongoing negotiations with his camp, and they want to find a middle ground to secure a deal that allows Dak to stay in Arlington for years to come. McClay went on to call him a phenomenal leader and a phenomenal quarterback, adding that no one wants to win more as a Cowboy than Prescott. Despite his long and well-documented list of shortcomings, Dak seems to have full respect and support from his locker room, and he's the best option the Cowboys have right now. Also, there could still be multiple teams interested in his services in free agency if the Cowboys keep playing the waiting game or lowballing him, so it'll be interesting to see how the situation plays out as we approach the new season. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Dak Prescott? Leave your opinion in the comments.